Well, our thanks to Spurs for that welcome, and indeed what a day it is to be here at White Hart Lane with the sun beaming down, the perfect setting for this game between Spurs and the European champions Nottingham Forest. A day when the goalkeepers are sharply into focus. Milja Alexic comes into the Tottenham side for the first time this season. He replaces the injured Barry Daines, while at the other end Peter Shilton, along with Ray Clements, the best in the land, makes a formidable barrier for the Tottenham strike force today. And in the outfield, Glenn Huddle, last week an emergency goalkeeper himself when Daines was injured during the victory at Leeds. Glenn, who is second top scorer in the First Division with 8 goals. The top scorer is Tony Woodcock of Nottingham Forest. He's got 10 goals this season, and alongside him is Trevor Francis, who, like Woodcock, scored twice for England in Belfast, but was not eligible for the midweek European Cup game. This then is the Spurs side, and they've really begun to find some impressive form. They've not been beaten in their last 6 games, but with Paul Miller suspended after being sent off last week at Leeds, Don McAllister comes into the centre of the defence, and Gordon Smith gets his 5th game of the season at number 3. As for Nottingham Forest, manager Brian Clough delayed naming his side until an hour ago. The only change is in the side that beat the Romanians in the European Cup in midweek is that Francis is there in the attack, with Ian Bowyer dropping down to sub. Forest won 3-1 here last season. The referee is Tom Bune of Surrey, and the crowd is a boisterous and a noisy one. And here comes the man of the moment, Brian Clough, followed by Peter Taylor. He got a tremendous reception when he came out at White Hart Lane last season. A few boos around the ground today, but I think overall the crowd are as pleased to see him now as they were then. And so Spurs get us away in their white shirts, attacking the goal to our left. Forest in the all-dark strip of red. Chris Jones just touching it off there. Spurs, who in fact have not been beaten here at White Hart Lane since the opening game of the season against Middlesbrough. And an offside flag on this side of the field. And Jerry Armstrong will have to come back. Jerry Armstrong, in fact, who's had quite a week. He was in hospital on Monday to have 4 wisdom teeth extracted. He only came out of hospital on Thursday. His dental surgeon is here today. He had to have an inspection before the game and will also have one afterwards. So quite a week for him. The ball now with Viv Anderson for Nottingham Forest. He scored here last season, clipped forward, McAllister getting it away. There's a big job really for McAllister this afternoon. Keith Birkinshaw, the Spurs manager, pleased the way that Spurs had tightened up in defence from the early weeks of the season. But now without Paul Miller, it means that McAllister will have quite a task facing Woodcock and Francis. The challenge there by Spurs was a strong one, and it gets Jones on his way. Ardiles has gone ahead of him. Huddle will take it up, though. A lovely ball flicked out here for Villa, and stopped momentarily, at any rate, by Anderson. Ardiles is doing his best to keep possession. The whistle's gone, a free kick for Tottenham. It'll be taken by Huddle. Shilton wanting that wall lined up properly. Jones was leading them all in there, and Armstrong's header falling quite gently. Well, you can see Shilton there saying that he wanted 3 in that wall, and I suppose he's feeling he didn't get 3 quite the way he wanted it. And that surely is offside. Yes, Francis caught a good 3 or 4 yards offside. Well, we've spoken about it being Glenn Hoddle's 22nd birthday today. There's another birthday boy on the field today. There he is, Frankie Gray, formerly of Leeds United, 25 today. Alexic. Mary Lloyd underneath this one, but beaten in the air by Jones. Armstrong's coming in there. Oh, a tremendous goal by Huddle. 1-0 to Tottenham with a little under 3 minutes gone. A tremendous goal there by Huddle. And Shilton really had no chance whatsoever. The long ball really with Lloyd in a bit of trouble under pressure from Jerry Armstrong. And how invitingly that ball fell for Huddle. And what a shot! Spurs 1, Nottingham Forest 0. And the scorer, Glenn Huddle, making him 9 for the season. What a season he's having too. Bertels. But the most dangerous thing would be to underestimate the powers of recovery of this really excellent Nottingham Forest side. Here's Anderson. Francis going on ahead of him, and here's Trevor Francis. And it'll come now for McGovern. Will it come for Bertels with a chance to score? Oh, my word, how close he was. In fact, there was a flag up on the far side, presumably for an offside against Gary Bertels. But an indication there certainly as to how dangerous Forest can be when they come forward. Francis right in the middle of it, and Bertels agonisingly wide, even though the flag was up. Huddle with the throw. Now Yorath. Villa. Oh, that might come again. In fact, it was Jones right in there when that was half stopped. But here are Forest now with Trevor Francis. Anderson. Too high for Bertels. McAllister the simple ball back. Kenny Burns winning that in the air, but not really decisively, and then beaten the next time by Armstrong. Oh, somebody's boot went flying there. Kenny Burns' boot, in fact, but it's a free kick nonetheless against Nottingham Forest. Quarter of an hour gone, 1-0 to Tottenham. Again, Huddle and Yorath are over the ball. There are 4 men in the wall this time. The ball a little spare than before. Where the position is. Houghton coming in for it as well. Huddle with a shot, hit the post! What a beautifully taken free kick, and that quite caught Forest out. And Huddle really let rip with that one, and he hit the post. Kenny Burns versus Chris Jones. Still playing it on there for Lloyd, got that away well. Here's Ardiles with a header. Yorath battling away in the midfield. Kenny Burns hitting it straight at Ardiles. And a beautiful ball by Ardiles for Jones. Oh, across the face of that Forest goal again. And that could so easily have been a second goal. But what a ball it was from Ardiles that put Jones clear. Angle not an easy one, of course, but it really only needed a touch, and Forest escaped. Great work again by the little Argentinian, though. And no doubt about it at the moment, Spurs clearly with the upper hand. Scored one, hit the post, and might easily have had a second one just a moment ago. Forest as yet without a clear chance having been created. Yorath forward again, and Lloyd getting it away. Now Woodcock with Bertels through the middle. Look at the acceleration here of Woodcock. This could be dangerous. Pulled back a little too far. Robertson might get there. Alexic has come out, played across the goal there. Could still come out because Yorath hasn't cleared it. Brought down, no penalty against Francis by Villa. And I think Forest will be a little surprised at that. Well, that certainly looked a penalty. And again, the game allowed to go on there by the referee, and as Ardiles takes it up, played in again towards Jones, and Forest are happy to hook that one away. Francis once more. Really is all action here at White Hart Lane as Villa takes it up once more. There's a danger that Ardiles was offside. That's why Villa played it for Yorath, and now turned instead for Huddle. And this is where the danger so often is coming from. Houghton now, with a nice little cross coming in, too high there for Armstrong, but Jones! No, offside. The linesman didn't flag it, but the referee saw a handball. The referee says handball, and the goal disallowed. Chris Jones prepared to dispute the point, but there's the incident coming up, and there it is that the referee said there was a handball, even though the ball went past Shilton. Well, two very debatable decisions there by the referee, which he gave very firmly, just as we look back a minute or so ago, when Francis was brought down by Villa. We'll see that again there, and on that occasion the referee said no penalty. Gary Mills. Gray playing it onside. Birtles, well, he looked offside to me. The linesman kept his flag down. Birtles flicking it just wide. In fact, Ardil is going across to the linesman to have a word with him, and it was interesting that the referee followed Ardiles out there and said, hey, watch what you're saying. Well, the linesman kept his flag down when Birtles went through, looked offside. It was wide. Houghton. A nice ball there for Armstrong. Now, can he get past Frankie Gray? No, but it's a corner. With about 7.5 minutes to go to half-time. McAllister outside the box, but it's coming towards him, and he's making his run, and it'll come maybe to Villa. Oh, there was a chance opening up for Tottenham there, and they've got another corner. I think Forrest may have been watching McAllister there, but it floated over his head, and Villa's shot deflected away for this corner. So Anderson at the near post, Chris Jones right in there, Kenny Burns on the line as well. Played short this time by Villa to Ardiles. Villa again with a little chip in there. And that time it was Gray getting it away as far as Yorath, and the shot is over the bar for a goal kick. Anderson, Woodcock. Haven't really quite hit it off, those two at the moment, of Woodcock and Francis. Smith. Now Ardiles. Jones coming hard for this one, but Kenny Burns and Ardiles getting involved there, and Villa getting involved with Burns, and a bit of a rough and tumble developing there, really from what was, it seemed, an innocent situation. Kenny Burns lifting his shirt to show where Ardiles' boot had gone, but it looked to me a quite ordinary rough and tumble as two fellas went for the ball. The referee having a word with the Argentinian, and a word with Kenny Burns as well, and with Villa, and giving a free kick to Nottingham Forest. What an explosive little moment there, when really it seemed just quite a commonplace rough and tumble for the ball. But it produces a free kick for Tottenham. And again, Huddle and Yorath are standing over it. Jones has made a run. Huddle's not happy with it, gets them back again. And now floats one in there, and Shilton watching that like a hawk the whole way. Watch it go just wide of a post. So brilliant with his free kicks is Huddle. There are so many variations open to Spurs because of his great skill, and here he is again, but losing out that time as the ball is swept by Mills for Anderson. On now for Francis. Cut inside nicely. Anderson on his way. Ardiles going back there and getting back strongly and aggressively enough to put the Forest full back off his stroke. And I must say, one of the features of this Spurs performance in this first half has been the work of this fellow Ardiles. I think he came as an artistic little player with some nice touches, but he's added so much running and so much strength to his game, I think, since he's been here. Just playing the ball around there, but then I thought for a moment they'd given it away. And right in front of the referee, a foul on Chris Jones by Larry Lloyd. A free kick for Tottenham. Looked a badly timed tackle, really, no more, but the pain must have been pretty intense on Jones's ankle, I would have thought. A free kick for Tottenham. Time enough to take it, but not much else. And the ankles, as far as one can tell, in reasonable trim as Yorath now steps up to take this free kick for Tottenham. Played short for Huddle. Armstrong, Ardiles. Well, that was a rather extravagant hope, and as you can see just there that Chris Jones was wanting something lifted into the box for him, but Ardiles saw something else and it didn't come off. A really good first half for Spurs, full of really good aggressive teamwork and no little skill as well, and of course a goal of superb proportions by Glenn Huddle with less than 3 minutes gone, celebrating his 22nd birthday today. And my word, that's the way to do it in style. The crowd applauding as Spurs go off. Ardiles has worked and covered every blade of the ground almost, and indeed every man Jack on that Spurs side deserves the applause as they go off. They're leading Nottingham Forest a goal to nil. It might have been more. But the half-time score at White Hart Lane then is Tottenham 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Welcome back to White Hart Lane then, as we prepare to the start of the second half. Forest now attacking the goal to our left, which indeed they have to do. This goal down scored by Glenn Huddle after 3 minutes of the first half. Here's Huddle straight away. Lovely, delicate little ball played there for Jerry Armstrong. Will come for Villiers, and now for Yorath. Huddle again, clipped in first time and away by Gray. Houghton. Oh, what a good ball for Armstrong in a bit of space. Driven in low. Well, that was a good idea on the variation, but it came off Larry Lloyd and behind for the corner. His face still a little swollen, Jerry Armstrong, from all those wisdom teeth extracted. But a lovely ball from Chris Houghton, whose brother Henry, of course, is a professional with Orient. Forest, in fact, haven't won away from home since September the 1st. They've lost at Norwich and at Manchester City in that time. Now facing this deficit here as Huddle takes his corner. A very deep one towards Jerry Armstrong. Played out now as far as Villiers. Charged down by Anderson. Well, McAllister, he found the ball and then lost it. Found it again. Played this time for Armstrong, and Anderson did a good bit of defending there because he was a little bit caught out. Might have got a smack in the face at the same time. But Spurs picking it up where they left off at the end of the first half. Very much deserving their lead as Huddle now chips it in, and the ball just wouldn't bounce far enough forward there for Jerry Armstrong when it looked as though it might be most inviting for him. And Forest get it away. But it's a throw which Ardiles will take. Jones jockeying. Well, it looks as though there was no space at all there, but he found some. Well, and who should be guilty of a miss like that? Well, Jones set it up, and Glenn Huddle, of all people, missed the chance. And Ardiles now taking it up. Short for Yorath. Will he try a blast? No, it's too late for that. Instead of that, he finds Huddle. Now, what will happen? What will happen? It's a little chip this time for Armstrong, but no power. But again, a delightful exhibition of skill from Glenn Huddle, surrounded by red shirts, his head found the skill to find Jerry Armstrong. Really delightful piece of play again by Huddle. Now it's Villa. A free kick to Forest, and they're taking off. Jerry Armstrong is coming off. But the game is in progress. And it'll be Colin Lee, the substitute, who comes on. But here's Armstrong at the moment. This might be the last little bit of action he's involved in before he goes off. But what if he were to score? Well, it's played for Villa. Getting to the byline. Back it comes again, and well, it was aiming towards Armstrong, but instead it's with Yorth. And a good save there. In fact, Shilton made it look easy. He anticipated it so well. Yorth, Ardiles. Houghton. And the ball out of play, and now Jerry Armstrong will go off. Well, a few of the crowd are booing, but maybe they don't appreciate all the facts, and certainly he's performed marvellously for a fellow who's had such a difficult week. And Colin Lee comes on. Ardiles. Gray getting in there, but only deflecting it to Villa. Perryman. Chris Houghton with the throw. Osvaldo Ardiles, Houghton, Glenn Huddle. Linesman flagging, referee acknowledging it and waving it on with Nottingham Forest in possession. Francis slicing it through there now for Gary Mills. Anderson coming up in support. But Mills might have a problem yet with Gordon Smith. Well, he still got it in, and it took Yorth to get it away. Colin Lee, his first touch. And a bit of room now for Villa. Whoa, my word. And Villa not at all happy with that. Kenny Burns, it was a rash challenge, and Glenn Huddle with his arms around him because I think he feared what Villa might do. What a fantastic clash that was as they went in. A yellow card for Kenny Burns. And Villa, you can see, is saying, look how high his feet were. And Ardiles is saying, well, you really should do something about it. The referee, in fact, has given the yellow card to Kenny Burns, who was hell-bent on getting that ball. And if they are Villa's legs, well, there are still two of them there. And he's got an enormous hole in his sock, as you can see. And that's what the Kenny Burns challenge did. Huddle. Oh, Shilton had to be alive to that down by the post again. Huddle almost out of nothing. Getting a good shot in, saved by Shilton. And really, we're on the verge of a notable victory for Spurs, who are coming back hard in the First Division now. 7 games without defeat, and a performance here that really proves that they are on their way back. There's no doubt whatsoever about that as Villa plays it forward, and it comes again to Shilton. The skill and the aggression have been there, finely mixed, and it's been a balance overall that has proved too much for Tottenham, for Nottingham Forest. Unless Mills in these last seconds, unless Forest from this corner conceded by Osvaldo Ardiles, unless Brian Clough's men can come back and do something here. Robertson then with the corner, floated in once more, off Perryman's head, towards Gary Mills, an overhead by Burns, and a goal kick. And one of the few scares that Tottenham have had in the whole 90 minutes. I think Alexic might well elect to belt this ball up into the midfield, and I think that might be the final kick of the game. Indeed it is. Spurs have beaten the European champions Nottingham Forest by a goal to nil. A memorable goal by Huddle on his 22nd birthday. But overall, a performance that Spurs can truly be proud of. Tottenham are back. The crowd were chanting a few minutes ago. And after a performance like that, well, there's no doubt whatsoever that they are making the right sort of progress as Brian Clough and Peter Taylor come off the field. I think they, above all, would concede that on the day they've been beaten by a better side. Forest never allowed to get into their stride as Spurs mixed aggression with skill. And it proved too much for Brian Clough and his men. And a final scoreline then here at White Hart Lane. It's Spurs 1, Nottingham Forest 0.